I took the night job because it paid double and no one else wanted it. Fire lookout. Deep woods. Northern forest. No cell signal. No towns for 40 miles. Just trees, wind, and the occasional radio check every hour. My supervisor said the same thing 3 times before I left. Don't leave the tower at night. If you hear something, anything, ignore it. The first 2 nights were quiet. Too quiet. On the 3rd night, at 1:17 a.m., the forest stopped making noise. No insects. No owls. No wind in the branches. Silence in the woods isn't peace. It's a warning. I stepped onto the tower balcony and swept my flashlight across the tree-line. Pines stood packed together like dark soldiers. Nothing moved. Then the radio crackled. Not static. Breathing. Slow. Wet. Like lungs filled with something thick. I grabbed the mic, station 3 checking in. Who's on this channel? Silence. Then a voice came through. Calm. Familiar. Hey, it's me. My blood ran cold. It was my voice. Same tone. Same hesitation I always had before speaking. Even the slight cough I'd had all week. I dropped the mic. The radio clicked off by itself. That's when I heard footsteps below the tower. Heavy. Bare. Slow. Crunch. Pause. Crunch. Circling. I leaned over the railing, heart hammering. Who's there? I shouted. The footsteps stopped. Then a voice answered from the trees. My legs hurt, it said. I can't walk. It sounded like a man trying not to cry. I shined the flashlight toward the sound and caught movement. Something stood between the trees. Tall. Too tall. Its body was shaped wrong, like it had guessed what a human should look like, but didn't quite get it right. Its arms hung too long. Its head tilted at an angle that made my neck ache just looking at it. The light hit its face. Or what should have been a face. Skin stretched tight. No eyebrows. No eyelashes. The mouth was there, but it didn't move when it spoke. My legs hurt, it repeated. Same sentence. Same tone. A copy. I backed away from the railing. Every story I'd ever heard came flooding back. Things the old hunters talked about. Warnings you were supposed to laugh off. Don't answer. Don't repeat what it says. Don't let it learn you. The thing took a step closer. The trees bent as it moved through them, branches snapping without sound. Then it said my name. Perfectly. Not shouted. Not questioned. Spoken the way someone does when they're standing right behind you. I slammed the tower door shut and locked it, hands shaking so badly I dropped the keys twice. Outside, the footsteps returned. But now, there were more of them. Circling the tower. Above me, the roof creaked. Something climbed. And through the thin metal walls, a whisper slid in like smoke. I know how you sound now. The knocking started at 1:43 a.m. Not loud. Not urgent. 3 slow taps on the metal wall beneath the tower. Tap, tap, tap. Then nothing. I stood frozen in the middle of the room. Flashlight clenched so tight my hand hurt. The tower creaked in the wind, but there was no wind. Just that dead, suffocating silence pressing in from all sides. The radio sat on the desk. Off. I didn't touch it. Below me, something moved. Not walking now, dragging. Nails or claws scraping softly against the metal supports of the tower. It circled once. Twice. Then it spoke again. Closer. I know you're up there. Same voice as before. My voice. Perfect rhythm. Same breathing pattern. Even the nervous swallow before the last word. I just want to talk. The ladder on the side of the tower rattled. Not violently, carefully. Like someone testing each rung, making sure not to make noise. I backed away until my shoulders hit the far wall. Every rule I'd ever heard screamed in my head. Don't respond. Don't acknowledge. Don't let it think you recognize it. The ladder creaked again. 1 rung higher. Then another. I shut off my flashlight and dropped into darkness, holding my breath. The moonlight barely filtered through the windows, painting the room in pale blue shadows. The climbing stopped. For a long moment, there was nothing. Then breathing, right outside the window. Slow, curious, patient. A shadow passed across the glass. Not a head, something longer, narrower. It paused, as if sniffing. "I remember this place," it whispered. "You were here before." My stomach twisted. I hadn't told anyone that. Last summer, I'd worked this same tower for 3 weeks before quitting early. I told them it was family stuff. Truth was, I couldn't sleep anymore. I kept hearing footsteps in the trees back then too. The thing outside chuckled softly. "I watched you leave." The glass fogged slightly, like something warm leaned close to it. I waited. I slid down the wall and pressed my hand over my mouth to keep from making a sound. Then came another voice. Different tone. Different pitch. My supervisor's voice. "Radio check," it called from below. "You all right up there?" My heart jumped. Help. Real help. I crawled toward the radio. And froze. The supervisor's voice repeated the exact same sentence. Same timing. Same inflection. Again. And again. 3 times in a row. Like a recording skipping. Outside, something moved fast, too fast. Heavy footsteps circled the tower, overlapping, multiplying. 1 set became 2. 2 became many. Different voices joined in. A woman crying. A man whispering prayers. Someone laughing quietly. All of them wrong. All of them slightly off. The ladder rattled again, this time from 2 sides. I could hear claws gripping metal now. Scraping. Pulling. Something climbed on the underside of the platform, directly beneath my feet. The floor vibrated. "I learned your name," the thing said gently. "I learned your voice. I learned how you stand when you're scared." The roof creaked. Something heavy settled on top of the tower. Dust fell from the ceiling. I finally broke. "Go away," I screamed. The forest answered back. Every voice screamed my words at once. The tower shook violently as something slammed into the door. Once. Twice. Metal warped inward. The radio exploded into static and then. "My turn," it said. The door buckled. A hand slid through the gap, too many joints, fingers bending backward as it gripped the frame. Skin stretched tight over bone, pale and hairless. The door tore open. And standing there, hunched to fit inside, was me. My face. My eyes. My smile. But the eyes didn't blink. And the smile was too wide. "I finally got it right," it said in my voice. Behind it, the woods were full of copies, half-formed shapes trying on faces, practicing sounds, waiting. I don't remember jumping. I don't remember falling. I only remember the sound it made when it laughed. And the way the forest answered back. I didn't die when I hit the ground. I should have. The fall from the tower snapped something in my leg. I heard it before I felt it. A wet crack buried under the roar of blood in my ears. The world spun, stars bursting behind my eyes, dirt and pine needles filling my mouth. Above me, the tower screamed. Metal tore. Wood splintered. Something heavy dropped from the roof and landed nearby with a sound like a sack of meat hitting stone. I tried to crawl. My leg didn't respond. It dragged uselessly behind me, numb and wrong. The forest was alive now. Not moving, watching. Trees leaned inward, branches tangled like fingers. The moonlight barely reached the ground, swallowed by the canopy. Then I heard footsteps. Not rushed. Not hunting. Following. "You always run like that," my voice said from behind me. Calm. Observant. Same mistake every time. I rolled onto my back, screaming, and shined my flashlight. It stood a few feet away. Not fully shaped anymore. My face sagged slightly, like it didn't fit the skull beneath it. The jaw unhinged when it smiled. Its legs bent the wrong way at the knees, joints popping softly as it shifted its weight. Behind it, Other shapes moved between the trees. Some tall, some crawling, some still learning how to stand. They don't know you like I do, it said. I watched you last summer. Every night. When you talked to yourself. When you cried in the dark. I felt something warm running down my neck. Blood. How long? I whispered. Its head tilted. How long what? How long have you been wearing me? The smile widened. I'm not wearing you yet. The word yet echoed. It knelt beside me. The movement was wrong, too many limbs adjusting at once. Its hand reached out, fingers trembling like they were excited. Up close, I could see seams. Not stitches. Places where skin had been stretched and pressed into shape, barely holding together. People think we hunt, it said softly. We don't. Hunting is messy. Loud. It leaned closer, its breath cold and wet against my cheek. We replace. A scream tore through the forest. Not mine. A human scream, raw, terrified, real. The thing froze. Its head snapped toward the sound, eyes flickering with irritation. Someone else wandered too far, it muttered. The other shapes shifted eagerly. Stay, it told me, almost kindly. Don't go anywhere. It stood and melted backward into the trees, its body thinning, bending, becoming shadow. I lay there shaking, every nerve screaming. Then the screaming stopped. Abruptly. Like someone had turned off a switch. Minutes passed. Maybe hours. I don't know how long I stared at the trees, waiting for my face to come back. Something wet touched my hand. I flinched and looked down. A footprint. Bare. Human-shaped, but pressed too deep into the soil, like whatever made it was far heavier than it should have been. More appeared. Circling me. Slow. Careful. Then the radio crackled. Still clipped to my belt. Still working. Static. Then. Hello? Anyone there? A real voice this time. Shaky. Young. Another ranger. I grabbed the radio with shaking hands. Yes, I gasped. I'm hurt. Fire Tower 3. Don't come alone. The voice interrupted me. Don't worry, it said. Same voice. Same words. Perfectly copied. My radio fell silent. From the trees, my voice laughed. All around me, the woods began to answer back. I don't remember passing out. One moment, I was staring at the trees, waiting for my own voice to come back and finish me, and the next, sunlight stabbed through my eyelids like knives. Morning. Birds were singing. Real birds. For a second, I thought it was over. That it had all been fear, shock, blood loss. Then I tried to move. My legs screamed. A cast wrapped it tight, crude, and uneven. Someone had splinted it with broken branches and duct tape. Someone had treated me. I wasn't alone. A man sat across from me near a dying campfire. Mid-30s. Ranger uniform. Name patch, Evans. He smiled when he saw my eyes open. Easy, he said. You're safe now. His voice was calm. Normal. Too normal. I scanned the clearing. No tower. No blood. No footprints. Just trees. How long? I croaked. 2 days, he replied. Search team found you just before dawn. Search team. Plural. Where are the others? I asked. His smile flickered, just for a fraction of a second. Didn't find anyone else. My stomach dropped. Radio logs, I said quickly. Check them. It copied my voice. Evans nodded slowly, like he was humoring a child. Shock does strange things, he said. You were dehydrated. Hallucinating. I watched his hands. They were dirty, but not from soil. From something darker. Sticky. Let me see your radio, I said. He hesitated. Too long. Then he reached into his pocket and handed it to me. My radio. Same scratches. Same crack on the screen. But when I turned it over, my blood went cold. My name was scratched into the back. Deep. Crooked. Like it had been carved with a nail. I never did that. You should rest, Evans said, standing. Helicopter's coming. The trees creaked, not from wind, from movement. Slow shape shifted just beyond the clearing. Watching, waiting. How many made it out? I whispered. Evans looked at me. Really looked. His smile widened. Enough. My chest tightened. Say my name, I said suddenly. He blinked. What? Say it, I demanded. Say my full name. The forest went quiet. Even the birds stopped. Evans opened his mouth, closed it, then tried again. The name came out wrong. The rhythm was off. The emphasis misplaced, like someone who had heard it spoken but never felt it. I grabbed my knife and drove it into his thigh. He didn't scream, didn't bleed right. His skin split, sagging away from the muscle beneath, revealing something pale and twitching, like it hadn't decided what shape to be at. He looked down, curious. Oh, he said softly. You noticed. The woods exploded with sound. Footsteps. Running. My voice screaming from everywhere at once. I dragged myself backward as Evan stood, leg bending the wrong way, flesh pulling and stretching to repair itself. You're not supposed to wake up, it said, voice slipping between tones. You're supposed to go home. Behind it, the trees opened. I saw them. Dozens. Wearing hikers. Campers. Rangers. Wearing families. Some faces wrong. Some almost perfect. All survivors go home, it continued. That's how we spread. A helicopter thundered overhead. Real. Loud. Human. Evans frowned, irritated. Run, it said suddenly, not to me, but to the others. The forest scattered. Evans stepped back, body folding inward, skin rippling as it thinned into bark and shadow. I screamed until the helicopter spotted me. They pulled me out, airlifted me, told me I was lucky. They shut down Fire Tower 3, burned it, listed it as a collapse accident. But here's the thing no one talks about. I made it home. I recovered. I went back to a normal life. And sometimes late at night, I hear myself outside my window, calling my name, perfectly, patiently, learning.